was a lot of work, but it was worth it. All right. So during this week at a White House event with the soccer team Inter Miami, President Trump turned to the team's co-owner, Jorge Mas, and said something interesting. I wonder, did it begin with congratulations?
Congratulations as well to co-owners Jose Mas. Who came from Cuba, right? Originally from Cuba? Huh? Your parents came? Yeah, you're going to go back, oh, yeah. It's gonna be, and you won't need my approval. You just fly back in when I can just see that. It's going to be a great day, right? We're going to celebrate that separately. I just want to wait a couple of weeks. I wanted to wait a couple of weeks, but we'll be together again soon, I suspect, celebrating what's going on in Cuba. They want to make a deal so badly, you have no idea.
Talk about letting the cat out of the bag. Did Trump just suggest that after the Iran mission is done, he'll turn his sights to Cuba? I think so. Because after hearing this, one man asked him to please pick up some cigars on his way there. But anybody who's been watching Trump's moves closely saw this coming. He's been cutting off the money to Cuba, and now the country is as poor as my writers. First came the squeeze on Venezuela, which for years shipped subsidized oil to keep Cuba's lights on. When that pipeline started drying up, suddenly Havana lost its biggest life support system. Then came the EO, threatening tariffs on any country that sells oil to Cuba. In other words, if you help the regime keep the lights on, you'll pay for it in the American market. So pretty soon the lights started going out. They got so desperate for oil, they even hit up P. Diddy. True. The island has been hit. Thank you. Never know what you like. The island's been hit with massive blackouts as the government struggles with fuel shortages and a crumbling electrical grid. In fact, conditions are so bad, they're thinking of changing the name of Havana to Minneapolis. But the great thing about this is that to force the commie regime into a deal, nobody had to invade. No Marines, no Bay of Pigs 2, no book tours by Brian Kilmeade. Suddenly, the Cuban president is talking about urgent economic changes. It's amazing how communism can survive for 60 years until the power bill comes due. And now, as Trump suggested, it could just be a matter of time before the regime folds like that contortionist I stashed in the trunk of Kudlow's car. She thought she was going to the circus. And the reason this matter goes beyond cigars and classic cars, because for decades, Cuba has functioned as an operating base for U.S. adversaries, intelligence sharing, security cooperation, a hub for anti-American regimes in the hemisphere. It's something multiple presidents before has had to deal with and couldn't figure out how to solve. But now it's happening without boots on the ground. Strangle the regime financially, cut off the oil, let reality do the negotiating. But despite the regime saying it's ready to reform the economy, it's likely the regime's version of, oh, I swear I'll be going to the gym on Monday. The difference here, it's too late for Planet Fitness. For the first time in decades, the Cuban leadership might finally have to face the one thing every commie system fears most. That's reality. And the realization in Havana that the revolution might finally be over because somebody had the guts to finally pull its plug.